Hey there folks, Santee at the Arizona Ghostriders here. The much anticipated episode, Chuckwagons in the Old West. I'm here today with Dan Hickman and Dirty Dan Ray, so there's quite a lot of Dans here. And we're in front of Dan Hickman's Chuckwagon here at his bunkhouse studio here in Arizona. We have another very special guest today. Celebrity chef Kent Rollins is going to come on and tell us a little bit about history of Chuckwagons. So, with much anticipation, roll film. When looking at old photos of cowboys, there's nothing more comforting for me to see than the iconic Chuckwagon. Now, Kent Rollins is in Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down the plain.
And I'm in Arizona. But the passing of historical information shall not be halted by mistakes. Let's do this.
Hey, my name's Kent Rollins. I'm a Chuckwagon cook. Been cooking for cowboys for over 31 years. Still doing it with an old Studebaker Chuckwagon I am. Same methods applied that old Cookie used going down the trail in the 1870s and 1880s. I just got a whole lot more to work with. We still feed them 3 meals a day, keep them fed and keep them happy, because that's what a Chuckwagon cook does.
So Kent, what exactly are the origins of the Chuckwagon and how did it come about?
Now, the Chuckwagon was the first Meals on Wheels invented to feed cowboys. A lot of folks give credit to Charles Goodnight for doing this. Now, chuck boxes were in the back of the wagon. That's what this is, chuck box, but this is the chuck table. Why do we call it chuck? Hey, that was a slang word when old Cookie would call, it's time for chuck, time to eat.
Ooh, can you give me a tour of the chuck box?
There's an assortment of drawers and compartments to hold anything that old cook might need. They were arranged however he might want them. Some were peaked roof, had taller, hung a lantern up here where he could have working light. But all of them were arranged to keep utensils that he might need, forks, knives, spoons, anything that he might have to have, but also maybe some first aid. Bigger things were maybe for the coffee and stuff to keep the varmints out of it. But what's this under here? It is a boot made to carry pots, pans, Dutch ovens, something like that. So it is his kitchen and it is portable. Meals on Wheels.
So I'm here with Dan Hickman, and this is his wagon, and that chuck box there was made by Dirty Dan Ray himself.
Howdy.
Yeah, I didn't know you were so handy.
Neither did I.
Yeah. Dan, we know a little bit about the chuck box. Can you tell me about the rest of the wagon here?
Sure. Back in the day, on the cattle drives, all the cowboys would have their bedrolls and their guns laying in the back of the wagon.
Okay.
Along with other things that they had. They would have a pick on the side, a shovel. They'd have a barrel on one side or the other. This happens to be, when it's on here, it's on the side over there.
For water?
For water.
Okay.
And underneath there would be what they call a possum belly. It's a sling that they put under there that they pick up firewood along their travels.
And that's a toolbox right there, right?
This is a toolbox.
So
yes.
they keep in there things to fix the wagon in case it broke?
I also have a toolbox that's right up front on this little foot pedal, foot stand.
Okay.
You lift that up and there's tools in there also.
Very cool.
Now y'all might be wondering, what did old Cookie tote down the trail back in the 1870s and 80s? What staples did he have on that wagon? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, the most important one, the one that he always picked first, what was it? Coffee. He had a lot of them coffee beans because that's something they're going to have every day, twice a day, sometimes 3. Also, what was it? Dried beans. Oh, they were going to have a lot of beans. Flour, sugar, salt. Few spices, but they were basic. Maybe a little vanilla, maybe a little cinnamon. But that was about it.
What about biscuits? We always hear about sourdough biscuits.
But one other thing that was very important to old Cook, something that he used to make pie crust if he had a pie, but he made biscuits with it every day, maybe twice a day. What was it? Sourdough starter. He had to have it. Kept it in a crock jar. But a lot of times them old cooks too would have it in a bag, like an old skint bag that they could carry something in. Pour that sourdough down in there, that way they could tie it off. It wouldn't slosh off going down the trail. But he had to have a way to keep that sourdough starter. A lot of times it was a crock. He let it ride with him in the wagon seat if he got a hand, because this stuff was very important to him going down the trail.
Huh. So he put it in an animal skin bag. But did that protect it from all the elements?
Now in colder conditions, old Cookie was known to do that. and then sleep with that, because sourdough had to be above 65 degrees before it to keep working all the time, so body heat might have kept it there. Old Cookie could get her done.
So what did they used to fry with?
Lard is another important ingredient that Old Cook had going down the trail, because that helped him make biscuits and also a pie crust if he ever had him any fruit come along. But that lard would mix with the flour, the sugar, the salt, make them biscuits, let them rise up, cook them in the Dutch oven, same way we cook them today.
Okay, so I heard Cookie would hang a bucket of cream underneath the wagon, and the rocking motion of the trail drive would turn it into butter. Is that true?
Now, I really think that it might be an old wives' tale. I've looked back, I can't find anything about it.
Well, but it sounds viable, Ken. I mean, you don't think it happened maybe just once?
No, probably not. Probably didn't happen at all. But it does make a good story.
Well, but technically it could work.
But there's a lot of stuff that could have fell in it. It could have splashed
Yeah,
out.
but think about it. Slosh, 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 butter, 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 right?
No, I sure don't.
Oh, cut it out. What about meat proteins on the drive?
Now, salt pork probably was the only cured meat that could travel the distances they had to have and stay out the longest without anything happening to it. It was salt cured, dried out. It was good for anything. He could slice it off of there and make bacon every morning.
You'd think they'd have a steak every night.
No, they didn't, not unless one fell dead in the trail. Them beeves were going to market, not to eat. But if they did one fall down there dead or something got crippled, sure, we'll bring it there and Old Cookie's going to butcher up a little, take with him what he can store. But sure, maybe there was some wild game down the trail going here and there. Maybe somebody found some quail, maybe you got a rabbit here and there. But the thing that was the staple, the most meat that he had on that trail, salt pork.
So were there any other preserved meats since they didn't have an icebox?
Now, I'm pretty sure there was some jerky there too. Cowboys might have had a little out there that they kept in a pair of saddlebags or in a shirt pocket, but Old Cookie had him some hid out there in the wagon that he could chew on going down the trail.
Well, folks, that's it. I want to thank Kent and Shannon Rollins for a very fun and very informative collaboration. They're terrific people, and I can't say enough good things about them. If you want more information, go to kentrollins.com and subscribe to the YouTube channel. The link is down below there somewhere. I was going to make a couple of appearances there over the next couple of weeks. Yeah, so
You can't have no idea how little I care.
well, folks, thanks for watching another episode on Chuckwagons in the Old West. I want to thank Dan Hickman, who let us see his wonderful Chuckwagon today, and Dirty Dan Ray for something, not sure what. Anyway, folks, a little channel update as well. First of all, we have merchandise. We have merch, as they say. If you look down there, you'll notice we're selling t-shirts now. So, I don't... What's funny about... What's funny?
T-shirts? Really? T-shirts?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, the other update is that I'm working at Old Tucson again, doing Nightfall this year. So the month of September and October is going to be a little bit strained, but don't worry. I'm still going to provide you with the high quality content that you all deserve.
Right.
What's so funny? What?
Oh, no.
Nothing?
I just got tickled.
It is high quality content.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
This channel is high quality content.
Yes, sir.
If you say
By all
so.
means. Hey, folks, don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. And
See you on down the trail.
you're not needed. Go. We took care of it. Biggest band in I ever seen.
Hey, that's my tablecloth.
Oh, okay.
Jeez.